Hey guys, how are you? Good morning, Andy Sukhu, founder and CEO of Y2K Credit Solutions. So, by now, you guys have all heard the news about the student loan extension. Um, it was supposed to end on February 1st, 2022. It was extended until May 1st, 2022. So basically, this video I'm doing is to update you on what next, right? What you have to do. A lot of you guys have questions. A lot of you guys are not sure what you need to do. What's the next step? So I'm doing this video to tell you exactly what you need to do. But before we get into that video, before we get into this topic, I want to talk about something. And back in March 2020, when this student loan was deferred due to COVID and there was no interest, it was great, right? 45 million people benefited from it, and we advised a lot of our clients, which majority of them followed our instructions. We advised them to make payments on the principal, right? Call the student loan company, tell them, listen, I want to make payments. I'm paying on the principal only because deferred. There's no interest, right? This was a way of knocking off as much as you can of your student loans without paying interest. I took advantage of it. I paid 75% of my student loans off. A lot of our other clients did that. They were in a position to do it, right? So they took advantage of that. So, and a lot of us couldn't do it. So it's all right. But here's the thing. Here's the good thing about it. Now that the student loan forgiveness has been extended until May 2022, you have an opportunity to do that. So instead of spending your tax returns or, if you have whatever extra money you have, instead of spending it on frivolous things, I highly suggest you call your student loan company and make a payment towards your student loan because you're paying towards principal only, right? Let me give you an example of what that means. So let's say you have a loan for $10,000 and right now it's deferred for no interest, no payments. So if you say, listen, I want to pay you guys $5,000, that's going straight to principal. So let's say you couldn't pay it out of $5,000 and here comes May 1st, 2022, and you have to go into a payment plan, you're only paying interest on $5,000, not $10,000, right? So it was in your best interest to make sure that you took advantage of that program, and you still have the next 5 months to do so. So I highly suggest, if you can and you're in a position to do it, okay? So here's what you need to know, though. So a couple things. About 10 million student loans are going to be transferred to a new servicer provider, right? We don't know what 10 million, who is going to be transferred, but the number is about 10 million. That's on the student loan website. You can definitely check it out, Google it, even call your student loan provider. So what you need to do, first off, I don't suggest you wait until May. I suggest you do it now. You have the time. Pick up the phone, call your student loan provider, right? That's your current student loan provider that you have. You need to make sure that they have the most updated information for you. And that information includes your phone number, your email address, mailing address, and a way of contacting you. So once the forgiveness is over, the deferment is over, you can go ahead, they can reach out to you and start scheduling for payment. Also, when you speak to them, ask them if your student loan is going to be serviced by them or it's going to be sent to a new servicer provider. And you want to get that information as well. But also, by you updating your information, if your loan does get transferred, they're gonna send the most current contact information to the new servicer provider so they can get a hold of you, because you don't want May 1st to come and then you're not sure what's going on with your student loans. Then you start getting negative reporting on your credit report, especially if you just went to our program, the Y2K program. We fix your credit and you have a perfect credit score that could easily ding your score and drop you 120 points. So it is your best interest and your responsibility to make sure you call your current student loan provider, and get the most updated information on your student loan. Also provide your most updated contact information. All right. Next thing is deferment. Excuse me. Deferment. I don't suggest you put your student loans in deferment anymore because the interest is going to be astronomical. And here's the thing with the interest rate. Right now it's deferred, no interest, right? But we're not sure what the new interest rate the student loan is going to apply or tack on to your student loans when they start making, when the repayment starts. So a lot of us may have good credit, got their credit fixed over the pandemic. A lot of us may took some hits on our credit towards the pandemic and your score dropped. Obviously, they're going to use your credit score to dictate your rate, right? So I don't suggest that you defer it again. You may get hit with a high rate. And the things with the student loan, the more you keep deferring it, some of you guys have student loans where the interest is more than what the student loan is, right? And that could affect from getting a mortgage. Or you can get a mortgage, but your payment will be higher, right? The way they calculate it. So I don't do that. I don't suggest you do that, all right? We're not sure the interest rate, like I said. That's all going to determine on the student loan and when repayment starts. And I already told you 10 million of you guys, 10 million of the student loans will be sent to new servicer. So you need to know who your new service provider will be. All right. Now, the income-based repayment forgiveness program, and we have a video on our YouTube about that. I highly suggest you look at that video. And also, we have posters on our social media about what what industry, I should say, qualifies for the forgiveness program, right? And that's like whether you're in the Army, medical field, certain industries, and you could also find this on the student loan website, all right? What industry qualify for the forgiveness program? A couple things you need to know about that. One, you need to make 120 payments, right, on time, and you can't default, you can't miss a payment to stay in the program. Two, there's limited vouchers for that program that's available to you guys, right? And the cutoff date is October 2022 when they're gonna cut off all the vouchers. So I highly suggest if you work in an industry that qualifies for the forgiveness, you pick the phone up now, call your student loan provider, and let them know that you're in that industry, and put your application in to get online to get the forgiveness. If you don't, October 1st, 2022, you're not going to be able to get it, right? There's very limited voucher. That's also on the student loan website that they're giving out for that program. And again, you have to make 120 payments on time. You cannot default. You cannot miss a payment. It's going to knock you out of the program, all right? Also, you have to stay in the industry. So let's say you work in the medical field and you have to make 10 years of payment. And after 10 years, they're going to forgive the rest of the loan. You can't work in your industry for 2 years, then say, hey, I'm going to have a career change. Maybe I'll go work in real estate. Then you get disqualified. So you have to stay in that industry for the 10 years in order to qualify for the program, okay? Also, if you're in an industry that qualifies for the income base and the forgiveness program, and you've previously made payments towards your student loans, you can request to have those payments credited towards the program. Once you apply, once you get in, you can have those payments credited towards the program. So let's say you made 2 years worth of payments. That means you just chopped off 2 years of the 10 years, right? So you have 8 years left. So you can request that, but you have to request that from your student loan provider, okay? And again, the forgiveness, the due date that it's going to end is October 1st, 2022. You can't apply for it anymore. So I highly suggest you guys take advantage of that, all right? That's the latest information that you need to know about the student loans. As more information comes across my desk, I'll provide it to you guys. If you have any questions, comments, leave a message below. I'll try to answer all your questions, comments. And if this video helped you guys, subscribe to it, thumbs up, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year.